Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome, welcome.
So, today we're going to be talking a little bit about kind of finding time to prioritize like your workout, your health, your workouts, your health, your nutrition, that kind of thing. So, we know that's what a lot of you are struggling with. I think time is a massive thing that people find it hard to find time to do things.
Mm,
So the affirmation for today is caring for myself does not take time away. It gives me more energy and focus for everything.
absolutely. It's switching the narrative, isn't it? That that affirmation completely switches what people use as a barrier to actually potentially overcome that barrier and use it in a different way. So say like it's saying caring for myself does not take time away because if you spend a little bit of time on yourself, so say like, I don't know, if you're feeling tired and you need a quick walk, then you might come back more energized and actually get more done rather than being even more tired and then, I don't know, go and try and snack on some sugar or something which you think is going to give you an energy boost and it doesn't, and then you're even more tired, and then you just don't necessarily um complete tasks how you would if you just maybe gone out for that 10 minutes and just get a bit of those endorphins flowing. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think sometimes like I'll be sat at my desk and I'll be working and I can feel myself getting more tired and more drained and I'm like, yeah, but I've got so much to do and I just keep going and then eventually I just feel like burnt out and I'm like, I just need to go and take, like you say, 10 minutes to go for a walk or just sit down and like put some meditation on or just sit there for 5 minutes doing nothing because actually when I get back to my desk, I'm going to feel so much better and not burn out. So it is just switching that narrative on its head and yeah, seeing that actually sometimes these other little things that we can do are really important to keep us thriving.
Absolutely. I know I found like so many times before I'll be doing like I'll be sat at my desk doing, I don't know, people's programs or something, and I can feel my eyes going. And
Yeah,
I'm thinking, oh my God, like, and that's not because that's what I find boring. It's just because my day's been so hectic, or maybe I haven't eaten what I normally eat, or, feeling under the weather, whatever it may be. And I'm like, right, I could go have a nap. And I'll literally have like a 10-minute nap. I'll come back and I'll power out a program like that. Boom, done. Whereas if I'd have sat there trying to do it with my eyes closed, I wouldn't have got anything done. Like, I'd have put in two exercises and thought, I can't think of anything.
yeah.
But then I find I wake up from the nap and I'm like, oh, great, I can think of all these exercises. This is all right. Fantastic. Boom, done. But if I hadn't, like I said, if I hadn't taken that 10 minutes, it would have taken me even longer. And yeah, I wouldn't have got done what I did get done.
Yeah. They always say as well, don't they, that with concentration, like you should take regular breaks because otherwise you lose focus and stuff. So yeah, it's exactly that for sure. Um, but yeah, I think also I was just thinking about like sometimes like on the weekend, like if you know you've got a busy week ahead and you know you want to eat healthy in the week, but you're like, oh, but I've only got 2 hours on a Sunday night to like have chill time. I don't want to use that time to prep meals and do those things because that's going to take a bit of energy, blah, blah, blah. So you get to the week and then it's like, oh, I haven't prepped anything. I'm just going to buy something and then you're not on track. It's like that cycle. And that comes into my head as well. Like sometimes like, oh, I
Mm.
really just can't be bothered. Like I just want to go and sit down. And I always just have that conversation to myself and I'm like, oh, it's going to take you 10 minutes and think about how much that's going to help you like during the week and I always talk myself around and I do it and then I sit down and relax afterwards and I feel so grateful that I have done that.
Absolutely. It gives you back so much time, doesn't it, in the week then? So
Yeah.
say like, the thing is as well, like if you did a slow cooker meal on a Sunday, like you could batch that up to like three, four portions, depending on what it is you've done. Boom, like dinner's done for the week. Like if you like eating the same thing. I know some people don't, or you could have it for your lunches, dinner and lunches. You've got that option, you can put some of it in your freezer. Like you don't have to spend hours cooking because the slow cooker's doing it. All you got to do is prep it and chuck it in, right? And then you've got so many meals for the week. And like you might have some nights where you go, do you know what? I've got time to cook tonight, or I can do that. So you might cook instead. But at least you have a second option just in case that you like I can't be bothered.
Mm, definitely. I think managing your time is a lot about organization. Like,
Massively.
yeah, like I'm a very anxious person. So for me, planning, organization, structure manages my anxiety, makes me feel better. So like in my diary, it's like I like planning everything, like my meal planning time, my going to the gym time, like everything is in there because then I'm like, I'm not gonna forget it. I'm gonna be able to do it, and I know where I can fit it in on busy days and not so busy days and everything. And I feel like you've kind of got to look at your life as like, I don't know, maybe it doesn't work for everyone, but I feel like if you just kind of wing it, you're setting yourself up for failure. Whereas if you start kind of like you would your work day, I think, if you work in a job, you would have tasks that you need to complete and days you need to complete them, and it's more structured and you get it done. I suppose
Mm,
it's kind of looking at your personal life in the same way. And like, does that make sense? Like planning everything into it and
yeah,
strategizing and like figuring out how you're gonna use your time.
absolutely. I think it's important, and it doesn't work for everyone because some people get overwhelmed by it, but it certainly works for me having everything out. So, like in my diary today, I put yoga in. I had a half an hour gap between people. Doesn't mean I'm going to get half an hour of yoga in because by that time that person's finished and I've walked down the alley and they've spoken to me, and then I get back and if someone turns up early, so I'm like, right, I'll do a 15-minute yoga in that half an hour block because I know I can get 15 minutes in. Like I'm not going to be disturbed either side of it. So, and I'm not disappointed because I know I've still done my yoga. It doesn't matter how long I've done it for. Like I've done that, I've ticked it off my list, cool, it's done. Whereas I think some people think, oh, but I can't do half an hour or I can't do an hour, so I'm not going to do it at all. And actually, that's not the case. Like, you need to build things in that you can actually do
Yeah,
rather
for
than just
sure.
completely writing it off. Because I could have gone, well, I can't do half an hour of yoga now because that person left at 10 to or 5 to. I've only
Yeah,
got 15 minutes now. What's the point? Well, actually, 15 minutes is better for me than no minutes because actually I really needed that stretch. And that's the only time I had to do it today.
absolutely. I think there's so many women that I've worked with when we're setting goals and planning how we're going to reach those goals, and maybe they don't do any walking or any exercise, and they say to me, right, I'm going to do hour every single day.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, okay, I hear you. I understand that you want to start building this in, but realistically, and they're like, oh, I want to get up. Someone said to me the other day, I'm going to get up at 3 a.m. to do an hour's worth of exercise. And I was like, okay, so
Oh.
what time do you normally get up? 6 a.m. Okay, so first of all, why do you need to get up 3 hours earlier? Like, genuine question. Like, why is it gonna, because, it might be that they need to go to the gym and then come back and shower and do all these things. And they were like, oh, I don't need that much time. I was like, okay. And I was like, firstly, like, that's a massive jump. Like, saying every day you're going to get up at 3 a.m., 3 hours earlier than what you're doing, you're probably not going to do that. And then you're going to feel like a failure. You feel like you might as well give up because you're not doing it. So, can we maybe get up one day in the week earlier, maybe 5 a.m. or half five rather than 6 a.m., and just do a 10-minute or a 20-minute home workout? Like,
Mhm.
that's probably more achievable than getting up 3 hours earlier because 3 a.m. is the middle of the night for
Oh
me.
my gosh. Absolutely. It's still dark outside. And that's the thing, you've got to work around what works for you, right? So many people might be like, right, get up and do that before you hit your whole day. But
Yeah.
that might not work for some people. What if that's the only time you've got a little bit of like, that little bit of a lay in just because you then run around after your kids all day? And
Yeah.
what if for you actually you knew there's no way I'm going to get up earlier because I'm going to be so tired for the rest of the day. So actually doing it at lunchtime when the kids are at nursery or I don't know, someone's come around to pick them up or whatever it is. If a lunchtime one works for you, plan it in at lunchtime. If an evening one, okay, once the kids have gone to bed, then I'll do it. Like you need to put these things in where you again know where it's realistic and you can do it.
Yeah.
Like say, there's no like I do not run in the mornings because I know I will not get up and run in the morning. Like, there's no point me putting a run there. Whereas at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll know I'll do a run then because I'll feel fueled, I'll feel good, and I've got the motivation. I've talked myself into it, and I'm going to go. Whereas if I think, oh, I've got to get up early and go for a run, no, I will stay in bed, especially when it's dark.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Whereas like for me, if I've like I go to gym class, so when I book onto those, I'm kept accountable. But if it's for myself, if I say I'm going to go at like 1 p.m. or 4 p.m., I'm not going to do it. Whereas, like for
Mm.
me, this morning I got up and went to the gym because that's where I know. So we're like complete opposite, but that's what works for you and that's what works
Mm.
for me, you know? So it's not all, well, not one size fits all, and it's figuring out what
What
does
works?
works best.
Like,
And yeah,
absolutely. But then if I said I was going to do a weight workout, I wouldn't do that in the afternoon. I'd do it after my last client because I'm still in the gym, or in between
yeah,
clients if I've got a gap. But if I had to come back in the house to do my work, I would not be going back out there because it's like going to work, right? So
mm,
if I'm going to do a weighted workout, it has to be in the morning or straight after my last person. Otherwise, there's no way I'm going back in there.
yeah,
Whereas a
yeah,
run is fine because I go outside and it's somewhere completely different. So
yeah,
you've got to work with what works for you and make it easy for you. So say like, I think you used to have like your yoga blocks and stuff in your where you're sat now, right?
mm,
Because you had no excuse. You didn't have to go outside to do yoga. You didn't have to do this, and you were trying to get it into a routine. It was sat behind you, so you could literally finish doing something, turn around and do yoga.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
made it that easy.
yeah, yeah. And this is not really health and fitness related, but it's like when I'm recording content, I have to be in my gym clothes or like in my actual clothes, right? Because when I'm at home, I like to look like a slob. No one sees
Yeah,
me, so it's
who
fine.
doesn't? I say that to my clients when I turn up. I'm like, if I look like I've just got out of the shower, yeah, I'm just in my joggers and my jumper. I don't care.
So like if I know it's a content filming day, I already have my light and my tripod in the kitchen set up on the side. I only have to turn it on. I have everything planned out like on my iPad, and then I'm like, right, if I go to gym in the morning, I'll come back and I won't get changed out of my gym clothes because as soon as I put on my slob clothes, like I'm not gonna get changed. Like it sounds so easy, I could just go upstairs and put something else on, but I'm not
Mm,
doing it. Like I have to like set these little things up to set me up for success, essentially.
absolutely. And I think if we don't do that, it's so easy to say that you have no time,
Mm.
right? Because you could do that. You could put your gym clothes on and go, oh, no, your other clothes on and go, no, I haven't got any time. But actually, put them on after because you're going to make time. There will be some time somewhere. And I get it when people have kids and like, I don't know, they're looking after parents or ill ones or whatever. Yes, time is shortened. So it's using what you have. What's the word? More, I say productively. I feel like we're always on the go. So maybe I don't want to push you to do more if you're constant, but like, look at what you're doing first. You could be sat there scrolling on your phone for like 10 minutes to an hour, and actually, you probably could have gone out for a walk for like 10 minutes instead. So I think it's looking at what you're actually doing in the day to see if you actually don't have time or
Yeah.
whether you're procrastinating and doing other things to fill time. So I said to someone the other day, what were they saying? They were saying something about, uh, like snacking or whatever. And I said to them, are you snacking instead of doing something else? Are you using snacking as like a procrastination tool without realizing it? Because if you're eating, you feel like you're doing something, right? And you're putting off, I can't remember what it was, I don't know, doing a workout or something, because you said you got no time, but actually you didn't need to eat at that point. You're just eating because it's there and because you've got nothing. Oh, I think someone said they didn't really have a lot to do in the day and then they were like eating. So it made them feel like they were busy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the weekends, like Monday to Friday when you're in work, like you're probably a little bit more structured if you've got, depending on what your work shifts are. But like at the weekends, there's no structure there, is there really, of
Mm,
most people? So it's like easier to just, oh, I'm sitting in front of the TV, I'll have a bag of crisps, or maybe have some chocolate. Whereas like I appreciate you can still snack on your weekdays, but like they are more structured. So I think people are more likely to go off track and just snack because maybe you're procrastinating or because you're bored or because there's something to do, isn't it? So
mm.
yeah, similar kind of concept.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're looking at things, look at what you're doing. Like, do you not have time to cook, or like, are you doing something else instead? Do you not have time to work out because you're doing something else instead that you don't need to be doing? Like, I think looking at what you're doing as a whole first and realizing what you're doing makes it easier to find time and to not put pressure on yourself to think, oh, I need to be stood here cooking for an hour or I need to do a workout for an hour. You don't. You can find like meals that are 15 minutes. Like I will not cook for an hour. Absolutely not. I hate cooking. Like
Yeah.
I like eating, but I hate cooking. But like again, workouts don't need to be an hour. Like go for like 10 minutes, then build it to 15. And then if you feel like, oh, actually I could do a bit more, do half an hour. Like,
Yeah,
build on it.
definitely, definitely. That's it. I think we're always at that like all or nothing mindset, and it's like, yeah, I need to do 2 hours a day. Whereas like, no, like if you're doing 10 minutes a day, that's still over an hour that maybe you weren't doing the week before. So it all adds up. And even little things as well, like in to do with the workouts, like take the stairs or, you know, yeah, don't use the lift, don't use the escalator. I know me and you, Amy, it makes me laugh when we go, you know what I'm going to say at you, we're at the airport.
Hmm.
And there's that thing that you can stand on, and it always annoys you so much. You're like, why? What is the point in that?
Like, why are you standing on there? You can walk. And most of the time, we walk past everyone that's on that
Yeah.
freaking travelator. And I'm like, what is wrong with your legs? It's such a waste of bloody electric that they must cost the airport so much money. I mean,
Um,
I get it if you struggle to walk, but if your legs work, like I don't get
no, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, and I think it's really, I mean, this probably goes into a whole other thing, but like, I think I was
it.
listening or reading something the other day that was saying like, our lives, they've just changed our lives. Like, why do they need to put in lifts? Unless obviously you're disabled or things like that, totally understand that. But things like
Mm,
escalators and, you know, lifts and all those kind of things, like, they're really unnecessary. Like, they should just keep
mm.
the stairs because imagine how much fitter everyone would be and like
Oh
more
my God,
able if
yeah.
we were just had to, like, you had no choice. Like, surely that's like so much better. I don't know. I've kind
Mm.
of got off on a rant,
Yeah,
but
I never really thought about that, but like it's so true, right? Yeah, maybe put lifts for like disabled people and like
of
you say,
course, yeah,
but that it's like at Pure actually, you cannot use that lift unless you're disabled.
yeah, good,
Like it doesn't let you open the door on your code. If you're not disabled, you cannot use it. You have to walk up those stairs.
yeah,
Like, but what, yeah, why are there not more things like that? Why is it so accessible for everyone to do when actually we need to move our legs? Like, we're designed the way we are to move, not
yeah.
to sit.
No, exactly, exactly. But yeah, that's like a whole other thing. But I was just thinking about
Absolutely.
it the other day. But
100%.
yeah,
But little things, right? Standing at your desk.
yeah,
Sit, stand, sit, stand. Yes, not standing all day. Standing all day, yeah, it can make your feet hurt, whatever. Once you get used to it, you'll be fine. But stand, sit, like do a bit of both. Like don't just fully sit, don't just fully stand. Like mix that up. Like you say, park a little bit further away from the office if
mhm,
you need to, or get off the bus a little bit earlier if you don't drive.
yeah. Get off the tube
Like,
earlier, the train,
mm,
whatever. Like if you can do, yeah, for sure, for sure. And I know I've mentioned it before, but I honestly love having that treadmill that I can teach my PT sessions on because
mm,
I get so many more steps because I would just be sat here like this. Could be on there right now to be fair, but I would just be sat there like this all day long. Whereas actually I don't need to be. I can be doing that. I appreciate it's not possible, but if you do work from home, you can get those walk-in mats. Like go on like Facebook
mm.
Marketplace, and if you've got phone calls or something that you don't need to be sat and like typing and stuff like that, like they're brilliant things that you can do to just get some more steps in, and you don't have to. It's not adding something extra into a day as well. You're combining it with something else, so it doesn't actually feel like a chore.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you've got to add extra time into your day because you're doing it
Mm,
with something, right? Just like, yeah, you do your thing. I sit on a bike whilst I PT people online,
yeah.
like, because, I'm still moving, it's keeping me awake,
Mm,
getting me endorphins flowing, as well as like being able to, yeah, get extra movement in my day, especially on those days that are super busy.
mm. Yeah, definitely, definitely. But other little things you can do are, yeah, like lunchtime sessions, I suppose. Like if you get a bit of a lunch break, like actually moving after you've eaten is really good for stabilizing your blood sugar levels, which is going to keep your energy levels more steady throughout the day. So even if you have your lunch and then you have 10 minutes, go out for a quick 10-minute walk. All you need to do is 10 minutes, to be honest. So
Mm.
yeah, go out and get a 10-minute walk in at lunchtime.
Really good for digestion as well.
Mm, yeah, for sure. I think we've
And
mentioned kind
especially,
of multitasking, but yeah, even if what like you're watching TV or you're listening to go and listen to an audiobook whilst you're walking or little things like that can be
yeah,
helpful.
do a stretch whilst you're watching favorite program. You haven't got to do anything then. You just sit in one position, stretch a leg. You're doing something towards feeling better. It doesn't have to be like jumping around doing hit stuff or anything like that. It can literally
No.
just be a few stretches, a few little movements just to make yourself feel better.
Mm, yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah,
I think a lot of it is like getting out of your own head and putting things up in front to stop yourself doing stuff at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, it's so easy to say, oh, I haven't got time to do this. But actually, like we said, if you make it easy and make it accessible and make it something that's not massively overwhelming, you're more likely to do it.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And like we said, just start small. And if you want to go and do a 5-minute walk in the morning, set your gym, like your walking clothes out like next to the bed. Like literally make it impossible for you to say no. Like set a couple of alarms, literally lay out even your underwear, your socks, everything right next to your bed. So all you got to do is get out, put your clothes on, brush your teeth. You don't even have to do anything else before. Just go straight out. Like just make it so that those excuses are you're like, oh, but I've already done that. I've already done that. Okay, I've got no excuses left. Like I might as well just do
Do it.
it. Yeah.
Or set yourself a timer and be like, right, I've got 5 minutes to do what I can towards my goal.
Yeah.
Again, we've used it in other things before, but sometimes if you start off doing like a workout or a walk, you go, all right, I've only got time for 5 minutes, so I'll just quickly go around the block. And then it's like, oh, actually, it's quite nice out here. I'm quite enjoying this. Or you've put a podcast on, you want to carry on listening to it. Oh, actually, probably got a bit more time than I thought I had. So then you carry on. I've
Hmm.
done that so many times, like especially on runs. I think, oh, I'm only going to go out for like a mile because I really can't be bothered today. And then the next minute, I've got a really good album on, or I've got a really good podcast on, or a book, and I'm like, oh, actually, I'm really enjoying this. And then I go out for way more miles than what I anticipated because actually, oh, this is quite nice. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. I think in terms of nutrition, if we go back to that kind of side of things, I know we've said a little bit
Mm,
about like meal prepping in batches. Um, and one I found a really good recipe on M the Nutritionist it M Nutrition M the Nutritionist Instagram, and
mm,
it was like a tuna wrap, but she's got like vegetables in there, harissa paste, a bit of yogurt, a bit of mayonnaise, a bit of cheese, and there was no cooking involved to start with because the cans of tuna are already done. So just literally pour it into a bowl. Yes, chop up a few veggies, put a few things in there. It probably took me like 5 minutes to like combine all these ingredients, put it into a container. And then it's there for like 3 days. And then I've just got a wrap. Today, it literally took me like 10 minutes. I've literally put the stuff into a wrap, put it into the air fryer for 10 minutes, done. It's got my
boom.
protein, veggies, fats, my carbs, everything in it that I need. And it literally took me 5 minutes yesterday to prep that on my lunch. So it's like the easiest thing. Like, and it feels like a bit of effort at the time, but actually today it was such a dream. And I was like, just open up my container, put it in, roll it up, put it
Done.
in the air fryer. Literally, I was like, this is like the easiest thing ever.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. I find like as well, like if I cook a protein, so like I cooked chicken yesterday because I knew I was making a rice dish today, and on the recipe it said like 40 minutes. I was like, I don't have 40 minutes tomorrow. I've got like 20. So I banged in like the peppers and that in the frying pan today whilst the rice was on, but I'd already cooked like the protein. So I just put it all together after like 10 minutes of it cooking, and I'm like, cool, boom, done. That was easy. Whereas if I'd have done it all today, it would have taken me like half an hour, 40 minutes. Like I cooked like 8 chicken sausages last week to go over like 4 or 5 days so I can make a pizza wrap for dinner because it's super quick, super easy.
Yeah,
But I've got my protein cooked already, so I don't have to worry about that. Just put the wrap in, put all the toppings on, boom, 10 minutes back out, sorted.
definitely, definitely. that's it. Like cook up your proteins before, cut up loads of vegetables. Like that's I always think that's a really good thing to do is like get some carrot sticks, some celery if you like it, some peppers. Um, just chop them all up, keep them in a container. You can put them in water, I think makes them last a little bit longer, but they're in the airtight container, they're good. They're just great to like throw into meals, add as extras. Like if I have like a sandwich or a wrap for lunch, I'll just add those onto the side just to keep me a little bit more full and for some extra nutrients. But yeah, again, takes like 5 minutes to do that at the beginning of the week. And then it's done. I just grab them out each day as I go through.
Mm.
Easy.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Again, it's not making things overcomplicated. I think a lot of people are like, oh, but I need to do this, and this for a meal, and I'm like, absolutely not. Like, you could get your packet rice, you could cook your
Yeah,
chicken, and then you can bang some veggies on the side if you wanted to make it super simple. This, like you said with the wraps, like took you 10 minutes.
yeah.
Like, they're just so, you don't need to be making things complicated.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And I think always having things like frozen garlic or like, the garlic you get in the jars, like lazy garlic.
Lazy jar. Yeah. Lazy
Yeah.
jar. Lazy garlic is what I meant. You said jar and lazy. Yeah, anyway.
Like I always buy frozen cut up onions because
Yep.
yes, I could just buy an onion and chop it up. First of all, it hurts my eyes. But second of all, that just adds on an extra like couple of minutes, which I know isn't much, but when I just grab my bag out of the freezer and pour it into my frying pan, like
Mm,
it's so easy. And it's the same with all kind of like veggies and stuff, really. You can just buy frozen ones. Like they're actually lock in all the nutrients because they're frozen at their
mm,
freshest point. So people think that they're not as good for you, but they're actually better because they've locked in all of that nutrients. So
absolutely.
yeah,
And a lot of the time they're cheaper
yeah, definitely don't go
because
off.
no, you look at peppers, right? I've got frozen peppers, and sometimes I will buy normal peppers, fresh peppers, because sometimes I like just eating a fresh pepper.
Yeah,
Um, but for three fresh peppers are like £1.85 or something, and then a bag of frozen peppers is like 99p. I was like, what have I been doing all my life? Why am I cutting a pepper up and putting it in there when I can go get some frozen ones for stuff like that?
yeah. It's so true. It's so true. But yeah, little things like that can make a massive, massive difference. And just having like healthy grab and go options as well. So, like things like I think it's hard because ultra processed foods can be tough on the stomach and the gut and like things like protein bars and stuff like that. But I make a batch of protein balls, which usually last me like 2 weeks, unless they're really tasty and Sam then eats them. But like I try and make like a big batch of them, and they usually last me like 10 days, and I'll have like one or two like as a dessert at lunchtime. And that again, like no cooking involved, you just pour all the ingredients into a bowl. It takes me like 5, 10, probably 10 minutes once I've got the ingredients and made them into balls and put them in the fridge. But then that's like a healthy snack there ready to go for like the next week or so. Um, so things like that, having like pre-portioned nuts to go, little things like that are all great to have.
Absolutely. And I think if you're out all day as well, take things like that with you
Mhm.
because it's so easy to like not eat all day and then come home and just just eat everything in the cupboard. So that's not going to
Yeah,
get you anywhere either. And then you'll think, oh, I don't want to cook because I'm just so hungry, and then you'll just eat anything in sight instead.
yeah,
Whereas actually if you eat like your nuts and things like that as you go out, or when you're out and you've got less access to food, when you come home, you're more likely to cook and be like, no, come on. Like, I don't need to just inhale everything in sight.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. I think it is like we were saying at the beginning, like it is all about mindset because you could look at it and go, oh, well, I don't have time to make these protein balls, or I don't have time to cut up the vegetables, or, I can't 5 minutes to do that. Like, it's just too much effort. And then you get to the week and you're not eating how you want to, and you're not feeling the way you want to feel. And it's like, okay, like I want to feel better. I want to eat healthy. I want to work towards my goals. I'm gonna have to try and find some time. And like you were saying, if you're scrolling on your phone for half an hour, like, is there 5 minutes of that scrolling time that you could use to go and just cut up some veggies or just to make some quick protein balls or to make that tuna thing for your wrap? Like, and it's hard. Like, and we're not saying it's easy. Like, when you start doing these things, it is. tough because you're gonna make want to make excuses. You're not gonna want to do it because it's not how you've usually lived. Like it's not your usual routine. And even I think like we were saying, like sometimes we still get those thoughts of, oh, I really can't be bothered. But the thing is that I think about my future self when I go, she's gonna be so annoyed if I don't do that now.
Yeah, you're not going to be where you want to be
No.
because, like, yeah, you're never going to hit those goals because you're already always like self-sabotaging before you even got there, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing. You don't want to meet your future self annoyed.
No. I
Screw
think
that.
about her and I'm
Absolutely
like,
not.
she's gonna be so stressed and annoyed and like just yeah, I'm like, no, I need to look after myself, look after my future Emma.
Exactly. And then when you get to it, don't you go, oh, thank God I did that. I'm so glad I did that. Like, oh,
Yeah,
if I hadn't have done that, that would have been so annoying, but I did it, so it's fine. And then you're even happier with yourself because you've actually done it.
exactly. Like I said, when I was getting my tuna out today and I was getting my protein ball out afterwards, I was living the dream.
You're like, there you go. You've got an extra like 20 minutes to sit down and enjoy your lunch rather than just
Yeah.
inhale it and crack on.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, it's hard. Like I know it's hard, especially when you've got kids. Like I know me and Joe have kids, so we're coming from a slightly different angle. But it is still possible. Like I've worked with so many women that do have kids and do, work really long hours and all that kind of stuff and still do it. It just
Mm,
takes time to make it work and find what works for you. And I think as well, like ready meals can be really demonized. And I know there was a lot of ladies that I work with, like if you've had a really long, stressful day and you're feeling just really shitty and you really don't want to cook, like just have some ready meals in the freezer, like some healthier ready meals, like ready to go because it's going to save you probably getting a takeaway. It's probably going to save you a lot of calories. It's going to be more nutritious and it's going to take you a couple of minutes to cook in the microwave or however you want to do it. So, like, have little backup options for days when you're just can't be asked or just had a not even
mm,
that, but just sometimes you just can't be asked, right? That's very normal, but some
absolutely.
or if just you just yeah had a really tricky day and you don't want to do those things, which is also totally understandable.
Mm. Yeah, it's just having those options, isn't it? And
Yeah,
making things again easy for when you're feeling shit
definitely.
or if life is hard or whatever, like you say. And
Yeah,
you're always going to be able to make something quicker than a takeaway turns up. Remember that.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, we still all get takeaways, right? We get
Oh,
takeaways
for
100%
sure.
because actually it's nice when someone else cooks, like sometimes, you know. But sometimes I order a takeaway and I think, oh fuck, I could have eaten like an hour ago. Remember when we had that one at yours and you were saying to
Oh,
me, oh, the Greek, and then you were like, oh,
they
do you know what?
stole
I've
it.
heard like one of your friends, like was having problems with Just Eat or whatever, and like they didn't get their food or whatever. I was like, nah, that doesn't happen, surely not, haha. And like we ordered it like 8:30. We'd driven past it as well. And we were like, no, we'll order it. It's fine. We ordered it 8:30. Wow, 9:30. Still wasn't there. I was like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. And then you went, oh, the guy's down the street. And you were like, he's not out here though. What the hell? And then he, like, obviously driven off or whatever. And then they were like, oh yeah, it's been delivered. And you were like, no, it's not turned up. I was like, no way has that happened. Like,
Oh,
so in the
sad
end, we
times.
had to drive all the way there and go there and then get it. So it wasn't until like nearly 10 o'clock we got this bloody takeaway. And we could have got it when we driven past at 8:30. And you know when
I
you're
don't know why
like,
we
we
didn't
shouldn't
do that,
have
but
cooked. I think it was like super busy with traffic and everything, wasn't it?
oh yeah, something
And we were
like
like,
that.
oh, it's fine. We'll just order it because it'll be fine. Yeah, and it wasn't fine. And then yeah, I mean, it was really nice food, but yeah, we could have eaten like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, that was sad, sad times. Very sad times. They stole our food.
How dare they?
Oh, but yeah, I like to always have like little frozen pizzas as well because if I'm craving a pizza, I love pizza. It's my one of my favorite foods. And
Hmm.
sometimes I'm like, do I need to buy a £30 pizza because they're bloody extortionate and
Absolutely.
eat like 2,000 calories worth in one go? And I'm like, sometimes I do, sometimes I want to do that, and that's fine. But there's some days I'm like, I'll just have a nice smaller one, and it's really tasty still, and just enjoy it. But yeah. it's, got that backup option there. It's more like 600 calories and it's probably cost me £2 rather than 30 quid.
But I don't know how they justify it. I mean, I still buy them, but I don't know how they justify it. But yeah, it's that, isn't it? Like you say, backup options, having those things there for when you do feel shit. Like if you've pre-cooked stuff like before, ages ago and put it in the freezer, can you
Mm.
bang something out of the freezer that you've already batch cooked ages ago?
Yeah.
Like it's all those little things. Make things easy for you, especially when like make the most of feeling good. When you're feeling like on top of things and you think, yeah, I've got this, slay, like just make extra. So then when you're feeling like, oh, I can't be asked, you've got those extra things.
Yeah, for sure. Because you're gonna have good weeks, you're gonna have bad weeks. That's just totally normal. So prepare for those bad weeks and
Yes.
then fly through those good weeks.
And then, yeah, and then you'll make your life so much easier and your bad weeks won't seem as bad as what they could have done.
Yes, yes, for sure, for sure. And yeah, I just think look after yourself as like a friend and think about imagine if your friend was unwell or they'd had an operation or something, and you see like people go and take them over big trays of like meals of casserole and things like that, and it's like, oh, I'm looking
Great.
after you. Like, think about yourself like that. Think, oh, maybe I'll be sick in 2 weeks, or I'm gonna be just really down, or I'm gonna have a really difficult week. I'm feeling good today. I'm gonna just make myself a big portion of something and freeze it, and then I'll be so happy when I'm feeling that way because I've got it there.
Absolutely. I like that. I like that. Absolutely. Think of yourself as you're going to be sick.
Oh, I suppose we should wrap it up there because we have waffled.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't think we've waffled. We've had. I feel like we've given some good advice.
I feel like we have as well. Hopefully we have.
Hopefully, yeah. Let
Hopefully
let us
people
know.
use it. Or actually don't. No, I'm joking.
But yeah, if you have any questions for us or want to reach out to us, you can always like DM us on our socials, or if you've got our numbers, like some of you might do, or you can always email us at contactempoweryouFitness@gmail.com. And yeah, if you have any questions or want to let us know anything, then please reach out.
Absolutely. We are here to help.
Definitely, definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you have found that helpful somewhat. And yeah, we look forward to speaking to you in the next one.
Absolutely. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Ciao.